Welcome to ATS OnDemand Deep Dive Podcast. Today we're diving into something really critical for U.S. employee associations. It's this struggle they have retaining their smaller members. We're talking small businesses, even micro-organizations who are just getting hammered by the talent crisis right now.
Absolutely. It's a huge retention challenge for the associations themselves, and the data underneath it is, well, it's pretty stark. We're looking mostly at members with maybe 0 to 9 employees, tiny teams. And they're facing, average turnover rates somewhere between 13 and 21% generally. But the really alarming number, 45%, that's the share of employees across the board saying they plan to leave their jobs, burnout, lack of resources, it's driving them out.
Wow, 45% intending to leave. I mean, if even some of that actually happens, these small member businesses could face, well, operational chaos. So our mission today is really to understand how certain tools, specifically white-labeled recruiting tech like ATS OnDemand's pay-as-you-grow model and their services, how associations can use these strategically to fight back against this member churn.
Exactly. And this isn't just about, tweaking a process here or there. The research we looked at suggests this is fundamental. It's about providing a tool so crucial that the association itself becomes indispensable to that small business member. And the potential payoff is significant. We're seeing data suggesting associations could cut member attrition by maybe 20, even 30%.
20 to 30% reduction in members leaving the association.
That's the idea. By solving the member's critical operational problem. This is the kind of leverage associations really need to stay relevant, especially looking ahead to 2025.
Okay, let's unpack this then. Before we jump into the solutions like ATS OnDemand, we need to really get a feel for the pain points. What exactly is creating this crushing burden you mentioned? What's driving these members towards instability and potentially away from the association?
Right. It's like a perfect storm hitting them. You've got financial bleeding, operational mess, and this constant regulatory fear. Let's start with the money side, the cost of attrition. The sources we reviewed show recruitment costs can hit like $10,000 per hire for certain roles, and even the average cost per hire without a proper system in place is around $4,200.
$4,000.
Okay.
Just think about that. For a member with, say, 5 employees, if they lose just 2 people a year, that's over $8,000 straight out the door. And that's assuming they hire efficiently, which sounds like they probably don't.
Exactly. That's the operational friction point. They often lack any real recruiting system. They're juggling things with, spreadsheets, maybe sticky notes, emails all over the place, trying to track candidates, manage onboarding. It's chaotic.
And that chaos, that friction, it directly hurts them, right? Slow follow-up, candidates have a bad experience.
Totally. And it leads to inconsistent hiring, which then connects back to retention.
Okay, because the sources also highlight something like, 63% of mid-sized companies find retaining people harder than hiring.
Precisely. And it's likely even worse for these tiny micro businesses. Imagine spending 45, 60 days finding someone, and then they leave after 3 months because the onboarding was a mess. It's a vicious cycle.
And how does that threaten the association's relationship with the member?
Well, if the member feels their association isn't helping solve this really acute, painful operational problem, they start looking elsewhere. They might be tempted by those big commercial HR platforms that promise to do everything, payroll, benefits, and recruiting. If they sign up for one of those, they might just drop the association membership altogether. It pulls them right out of that ecosystem.
Okay, so that's the attrition and operational mess. Then you layer on the rising costs and regulations.
Yeah, that's the other pincer. You've got state minimum wage hikes. California hitting $16.50 in 2025 is a big one. Federal overtime rules are changing too. Our analysis shows this can inflate payroll by 10, maybe 15% for common roles like admin staff, roles these small guys rely on.
So costs are up.
And so is the compliance burden. Think IRS Form 990 for nonprofits, Department of Labor rules like FLSA. For a tiny staff, navigating that is a nightmare without standardized processes. It easily adds 50% more time just to the hiring process, paperwork, and vetting.
50% more time.
Yeah, just trying to stay compliant. And mistakes. They risk serious fines. Big ones.
So squeezed by costs and regulations from one side and talent shortages from the other. And we can't forget the gig economy drain.
Oh, definitely. That's growing fast, something like 15% a year, and its main draw is flexibility. That directly pulls from the talent pool these small businesses need, making that 45% churn intention even worse in practice. It's really hard for a small shop to compete with the freedom of contract work, especially for roles needing consistency. They're losing talent that way.
Okay, this picture is clear. Crushing burden is definitely the right term. So let's pivot to the solution. This is where it gets really interesting, as you said. The pay-as-you-grow model, PAYG. How does that specific model from ATS OnDemand actually help these small members with their tight budgets and, unpredictable income?
Right. The PAYG model is so key because it fundamentally understands that small organizations often don't have stable, predictable revenue. It completely flips the usual software model. Instead of demanding big upfront fees or long-term contracts, the cost directly aligns with their actual hiring activity right now.
So they're not paying a fortune for software they might only use heavily twice a year. They pay when they post a job, basically.
Essentially,
Right.
yes, or based on usage tiers. The association can offer a white-labeled ATS on-demand system, maybe starting with a freemium level. Think about it. A member gets, say, one active job slot completely free, immediate value under the association's brand. Then, if they need more, not maybe post more jobs, need more features, they can scale up to really affordable tiers, maybe $50 a month or something similar.
That flexibility must feel like a lifeline when, as you said, their payroll costs are already jumping 10–15%. But does it genuinely save them money compared to other options? Or is it just shifting the cost?
No, the data suggests real savings. It helps offset those rising operational costs. We're seeing estimates of 30–40% savings compared to traditional fixed costs HR tools they might try to implement. And crucially, it's not just cost savings, it's efficiency. The system uses AI for things like candidate matching.
Ah, the AI matching, so that speeds things up.
Significantly, it can cut the time to fill how long it takes to hire someone by around 40%. So that 45 or 60-day hiring cycle we talked about, that could drop to maybe 25 to 35 days. Huge difference for a small team needing someone fast.
Wow, yeah, that's massive.
And the system handles a lot of the admin automatically, reducing errors, especially compliance-related errors, by potentially 70%. That's risk reduction right there.
Protecting the member. And what about that free tier? What features really hook them in immediately, show them that value right away?
It's about giving them professional tools they just don't have. So the freemium access usually includes things like free job postings to major boards and critically intelligent RASUMA parsing. That's RASUMA.
RASUMA parsing. So it takes incoming applications and automatically pulls the information into the system.
Exactly. It gets rid of the need to manually type info into spreadsheets. It digitizes the process instantly.
Yeah.
That alone shows the member, look, the association is giving us enterprise-level tools we can never afford on our own.
Okay, that tackles the budget problem and the efficiency problem, but you still have the issue of expertise, right? You're giving this, potentially powerful applicant tracking system to a small business owner who's already wearing 10 different hats.
Yeah.
Do they know how to use it effectively?
That's a great point, and it leads right into the second part of the solution, the add-on services. This is where the association can really differentiate. They can essentially white label outsourced HR functions, things like candidate sourcing, screening, even onboarding coordination using ATS OnDemand's partner network. So the association isn't just providing software, they're providing access to expertise and capacity.
Ah, so the association becomes the conduit to expert recruiters or HR specialists, even if they don't have a huge internal HR advisory team.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And it can be tiered. You could have a hybrid recruiting model. Maybe the association's own advisors help the member with specific tasks within the platform, like screening top candidates.
Okay.
Or you could offer a fully managed end-to-end service. The whole process, from writing the job ad to making the offer, handled seamlessly, all under the association's brand.
And I assume the pricing follows that pay-as-you-grow idea, too.
Yes, typically performance-based. Members might pay per hire or per job post managed. Again, aligning cost with actual results, not just paying a retainer fee.
What kind of impact does adding this layer of expertise actually have? Does it move the needle on results?
Oh, dramatically. The sources show that using these managed services can boost the members' fill rates, their success in hiring by 30–40%. And maybe even more importantly, it tackles that painful early attrition problem head on.
People quitting soon after being hired.
Yeah, employees leaving within the first 90 days. That rate, which often hovers around 22% for these small organizations, gets cut almost in half, down to like 12–15%.
Cutting early churn in half, that directly shores up the member's stability. And that must also help them compete against the gig economy's flexibility draw.
Absolutely, because these services, by their nature, are dealing with market data constantly. This arms the association and, through them, the member with real-time market intelligence. They can help members design more competitive compensation, better benefits, maybe even clearer career paths within their small organization. That's how you counter the gig economy. You make the traditional employment offer demonstrably better, more valuable long-term.
Okay, this is all starting to connect. So let's zoom out again. What does all this mean for the employee association itself? How do these tools, this ATS OnDemand platform, and the services become more than just a nice-to-have benefit? How do they actually drive member loyalty to the association?
It's the strategic linchpin. When the association demonstrably helps its members succeed in something as critical as hiring and keeping staff, member satisfaction goes way up. Their likelihood of renewing their association membership skyrockets. The association shifts its role. It's not just about, say, advocacy or providing discounts anymore. It becomes a vital operational partner, helping members mitigate huge financial and talent risks.
That changes the entire value proposition, doesn't it? Makes the association indispensable.
Exactly, indispensable value.
So let's nail down those core strategic benefits for the association. There seem to be three big ones emerging.
Right. First, clearly, is member retention. The recruiting support, both the tech and the optional expertise, becomes a cornerstone of why members stay. It directly helps them solve that crippling churn problem, contributing to that 20–30% reduction in member attrition we talked about earlier.
Okay, retention is number one. What's next?
Second is non-dues revenue. Those PAYG activations, the fees for premium tiers, the charges for managed recruiting services, that all creates a new, predictable, recurring income stream to the association.
And they get this revenue without having to build their own expensive software platform.
Precisely. ATS OnDemand provides the underlying infrastructure. The association leverages it, brands it, and generates revenue from it. Less risk, more reward.
Makes sense. And the third benefit?
The third is competitive differentiation, and this is really built on compliance and trust. By offering this white-labeled platform, the association competes head-to-head with those commercial HR suites trying to lure members away. They offer a branded solution, often with a free entry point, that crucially ensures the member is protected legally.
How so?
The platform comes with robust, built-in compliance features. Think EEOC reporting, FCRA compliance for background checks, OFCCP readiness for federal contractors. Plus, it's secure. SOC2 Type 2 certification means member data is protected. This shields the member from huge risks, and by doing so, protects the association's reputation too.
That wraps it up perfectly. The central idea is ATS OnDemand empowers employee associations to deliver truly valuable modern recruiting solutions. This solves a critical pain point for their small members' hiring and retention, which in turn locks in the association's own member loyalty. It turns a member weakness into an association strength.
Beautifully put. And as you, our listeners, think about how this might apply in your context, here's a final thought spurred by the research. We know organizations struggling with recruiting often lack visibility. They don't really know why people leave or what attracts the right candidates. Now imagine leveraging the aggregated data from all your members using this white-labeled ATS. You could see hiring trends, salary benchmarks, time to fill rates across your specific industry segment. Associations could publish something like a quarterly talent pulse report based on this real data. So the provocative question is, what unique market intelligence could you uncover from that kind of aggregated data, and how could you use it to offer even more targeted retention strategies or compensation advice to your members?
Something powerful to consider. Thanks for listening. See you next time.